Hello. I'm here to talk about bacon. I can't wait. The main takeaways that I hope everyone came away with from my presentation today are first, that you have a framework now for building digital marketing campaigns. That's basically the number one thing that I was really hoping to get across. You start with your objectives, you move into setting up your goals and your targets, you ask the experts, you create a hypothesis, you designate your key messages, you get a little weird, and then you launch. That's the main takeaway ultimately from my presentation. And then within that, I hope you got a little bit out of it, especially the relationship between getting weird and connecting with your audience. Those will be the main takeaways that I hope you took today. I really am a big fan of process and project management. Personally, I love to do checklists. I love administration. I love knowing that at the end of the day, I have accomplished my tasks. But I think the reason process is so important to marketing especially is because as marketers, often we're really creative. But what that means is that we don't really focus on the execution and how things are done, how they relate back to goals, and what success looks like. Because we'll get bogged down on being ultra weird and ultra creative. But if you can't actually tie that back to something that's measurable and helpful for your business, then I honestly don't think that you should have done it in the first place. But process keeps you honest in a way. Problem awareness is actually a technique that you use in marketing to try and bring people further into the funnel. So that means you want them to start from the beginning of being not aware at all to all of a sudden becoming really aware of a problem and then presenting them with a solution to solve that. Problem awareness, I hearken it to being, as a marketer, I hearken it to being a doctor. So someone walks into the doctor's office and is I'm experiencing these symptoms. I don't really know what they are, but I wanted to talk to you about it and figure out maybe what my problem is. Well, as a marketer, as the doctor in this scenario, we then need to make sure that we give those patients, our market, the name to call their problem, and then present them immediately with the medication or with the solution that can help them solve it. So that's why problem awareness is super key to marketing. Content clustering is, from my experience, a relatively new-ish concept. I believe it was coined by HubSpot, but don't hold me to that. But what content clustering does is it helps you identify a page on your website based on volume or however you want to define it. We did it based on volume as the most successful page ranking for a certain keyword that you're trying to attract with your campaign or that you're trying to rank for with your campaign. So with clustering, you create that pillar post that's got the most volume already, but then you take all the other pages that have those keywords on it, the same keywords that your pillar post ranks for, and you make them point back and link back to that pillar post. It then increases the authority of the pillar post. It also subsequently increases the authority of those pages, and then subsequently increases the authority of your entire website, which when it comes to search will help you rank higher in the SERP, and then ultimately will get you more clicks and eyeballs on your website and content. It's really important as a marketer that whatever you create and what you put out to the world, makes a splash, because frankly, especially on the internet, it's really loud, it's really hard to compete. I mean, like I mentioned in my presentation, if you're not on the first page of Google, do you even exist? So what you want to do as a marketer is make sure that you're making a splash with every campaign that you're creating. And I honestly think that being weird or being creative or investing in design and being really outspoken with your marketing is one of the best ways to incite curiosity and grab attention. And I mean, that's really your job as a marketer. So that's why I think getting weird is a very key priority to being successful. Whenever I'm creating key messages for a campaign, I like to think about them in the context of the product, the service, or the tool. And then I like to do this exercise called, if this product, service, and tool came in a box, what would the box say? So on the front of the box, that's where it would be on display at, your local Walmart or your grocery store. And that would be there on the front would be whatever captures the most attention, right? So on the front of the box, you'd probably have your headline, you'd have your subheadline that explains the value proposition, and then the benefits of purchasing that product. Well, that's important because it helps you, especially as someone who works in software and works like only in digital marketing. It's important to kind of sometimes translate it into something that's physical because it helps you think about it in a way that really is benefits and value focused. But then on the back of the box, that's where you kind of explain what those benefits and where those benefits come from, what features of the tool, software, or business enable those benefits and will make you, a better person if that's what your product offers, or in our case, live chat will make it more human, will make your customer support more scalable, and will be an all-in-one encompassing tool for your team. So that's kind of like the box concept, and I actually find it super, super helpful when coming up with key messages. Ooh, tough question. Hopefully I make my other Vancouverites proud here. I think it's less of what you need to see and more of what you need to do in Vancouver. But the one thing you always have to do when you come out to the West Coast is eat sushi. We have the best sushi, I personally think, in North America. So if you come to Vancouver, I will take you for sushi. I was thrilled to be invited to come speak at AMA Iowa. And the reason being, for many reasons. One, I've never been here. Two, the Midwest. I've always wanted to come to this area because frankly, I think as a Canadian, Midwestern Americans have very similar values and, approaches to life as we do up in Canada. So I knew that I would find kind of my people. But frankly, the biggest reason is because the topic of my presentation was, building marketing campaigns that are better than bacon. And I know that Iowa has a huge, huge pork industry. So, what better place to come and talk about bacon, right? If you want to connect with me, I think the best place will be Twitter. My Twitter handle is Alexa_Hubley, or send me a LinkedIn request and let's connect there. I'm happy to chat more. That's where you'll be able to see where I'm speaking next to because I always announce it on my LinkedIn page.